What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is TDS Darth Wage back at you with another video yet again, and in this video, this will be my last video playing as Freddy Krueger until the Freddy Rework comes out. So I am going to be using the Z block, the Unicorn block, Nurse's Calling, Monitor and Abuse, Ruin, and Corrupt Intervention with Ebony Memento Mori, or Ebony Mori for short. Anyway, so with that being said, let's just go ahead and wait for this match to start. So now, as I was saying, as you've seen in my previous videos, you've seen me do good with bad add-ons, you've seen me do somewhat good with okay perks, but honestly, this perk list that I just gave you is probably very underrated in my opinion. Yes, it is only ranked 12, but still, these people, as you can see, are a SWF, because they all literally have the same gamer tags. So let's go ahead and skip forward. And now here we are in the match. As I said, this is a SWF team. They all have the same kind of gamer tags with TQ or whatever it is in it. So let's go ahead and find them. Now, as I said, and everybody knows this already, this is common knowledge that Freddy is literally one of the worst killers in the game. However, I do try my best to make him look good, even though that is nearly impossible. The Freddy Rework, I cannot wait for it to come out. Whenever it does come out, I will make a video on Freddy as soon as possible, because I am actually overhyped for the Freddy Rework. I cannot wait for the Freddy Rework. I am so sick of survivors being able to just bully the hell out of Freddy, and it's been way too long. We have been waiting on this Freddy Rework for way too long. Before, whenever he was launched, people were saying he was overpowered, okay, and then the nerf came, and yeah, pretty much survivors just got to have their way with Freddy no matter what. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's not all bad, but good God, man, he has been absolutely... The only nightmare about Freddy at this point in the game, before the rework, is playing as Freddy. That's the only nightmare. I think anybody who watches this video and actually plays Dead by Daylight can agree with me on that. The only nightmare about Freddy is playing with him. Why? For the simple fact his ability fucks him more than it helps him. His ability actually punishes him more than it punishes the survivors. Because right now, the only way to make Freddy effective, to be honest with you, despite being one of the best players in the world or something, is to use the block add-ons, the Z block and the Unicorn block. Alright, why do I say that? Because that brings, let's see, Z block decreases his dream transition time by 2 seconds, and Unicorn block decreases it by 1.5. So that's basically 3.5 seconds off of a 7-second timer to put people into the dream world. So that makes the dream world transition very fast, and that's, to me, to be honest, that is Freddy's biggest downfall, is how long it takes to put people into the dream world. The second issue is how many ways people can escape the dream world. As I have stated in my previous videos, I am perfectly fine with people being able to pop generators and escape the dream world. I am perfectly fine with adrenaline, even though I don't think it makes very much sense that adrenaline brings you back to full health, but okay. You know, I never knew adrenaline had healing capabilities. I thought it was just an adrenaline boost, but, to each their own. So, with that being said, now, I would not mind self-care or anything. I would not mind none of that if Freddy's power got stronger the more he put people into the dream world. Okay, for example, each time you put somebody into the dream world, it increases his action speeds by a certain percentage, 2% or something like that, because you can put people into the dream world a lot of times during a match. So each time them escaping it, what would it encourage? It would encourage them to stay in the dream world, making Freddy more of a threat, because they know if they keep escaping the dream world, his action speeds are going to eventually get up to the point that they're no longer going to be able to escape him. And that would be their choice. If they, okay, they, like I said, what was that quote from the Freddy remake? I had to keep you awake long enough so whenever you finally fell asleep, you would never wake up again, or something like that. And that's kind of the concept that I have. They keep on escaping the dream world. They keep on escaping the dream world, and each time they escape the dream world, it gives him a 2% increase to all of his action speeds. Now you got to think about this. Some would say that's probably overpowered, but I'm saying 2% per dream world transition. Alright? Each time you pull somebody into the dream world. Alright? So you got to do the math on how many people that would take for him to become fully effective, pulling them into the dream world. How many times would it take for him to become a threat? Come on, let's be honest right now. Survivors can finish a match in 3 to 5 minutes if they're a good team, but if they're a bad team, well, as you can see, these people right here are not faring very well, even though they are a SWF, and SWF usually stands for Survive with Friends, Succeed with Friends, Surpass with Friends, Survivors Without Fear, and honestly, in this match, in this case, I would say it would be called Suck with Friends, to be honest with you. But anyway, like I was trying to say, that's my idea for making Freddy better, is I would not mind the dream transition time or anything if he got stronger the more time he pulled people into the dream world, which would prevent people from wanting to keep escaping the dream world, because they're going to want to keep him weak. They want to keep him fragile. They want to keep themselves with an advantage. So every time they escape the dream world, it increases all of his action speeds by 2%, which would stack on with brutal strength, which would stack on with fire up, which would make fire up actually worth using. If you get where I'm going with this, he would actually become pretty fucking scary if they had his power increase his action speeds based on how many times he pulls somebody into the dream world. But that is my opinion. That's just my thoughts about what they should do with the Freddy rework. Mine wouldn't even be a complete rework. Mine would just be, a minor fix. He really don't have that much wrong with him. The primary issue right now, based on the add-ons he has, is a lot of them are actually irrelevant. A lot of them are actually useless. Oh my god, I get a speed boost while they're in the dream transition phase. Whoa, that's truly amazing. To me, that's actually really fucking useless to me, in my opinion. What are you gonna do? You're gonna use it to get a speed boost for 7 seconds to go and find somebody else, completely negating a chase entirely? Or you could get increased range. Okay, so you got a range, now you've got range on your power, but you don't have anything to catch up to nobody. And if you get cornfields, that's basically going to be hell for the nightmare. That's going to be a nightmare for the nightmare, if you get what I mean. So right now, the way it is, Z-Block and Unicorn Block are the two best add-ons that you could really put on Freddy. Now, these perks that I chose Ruin for obvious reasons, because let's just face facts, anytime you're not using it, the match is going to end before you get time to do too much. And I chose Corrupt Intervention to prevent them from being able to just do a generator at spawn, which is absolutely absurd in my opinion. I used Nurse's Calling, so that way whenever they are injured, I can see them at all times within a 28-meter range. And I also have Monitor and Abuse to decrease my terror radius, so that way I can find them in the dream world faster and more closer to me, which gives me an advantage entirely. Now, with that being said, you can swap out Nurse's Calling with Barbecue and Chili, but to be honest with you, I kind of feel like Nurse's Calling is better than Barbecue and Chili at the sacrifice of blood points. So, yeah. I mean, I would really be interested to hear what everybody has to say about my opinion on Freddy's power getting stronger the more times he pulls people into the dream world. What do you think it should do based on that concept? Or, I mean, I know it's going to be a complete rework, but that was my thoughts on how to make him better, which is increasing his action speeds, making him stronger in the chase based on how many times that Freddy pulls survivors into the dream world. So, as you can see how this match has went so far, a Freddy 4K versus an SWF, and that person literally is just killing themselves. Great. Okay. Well, it's time for the last survivor to get the Mori. Now, you will face the wrath of Freddy. You will get... I gotta hand it to you, man. You tried your best and you gave it your all. But you rage quit. Alright everybody, well, that's gonna be all for this video. If you like this video, then please give me a like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will catch you in my next video.